Okay, a new day, a new city. Here I am in the city of Queretaro, Mexico. So I'm gonna try to give you an idea of what it's like. Actually, let me go show you my Airbnb. For about $50 a night, I got this nice spacious Airbnb, and one of the things that I had to pay a little bit more for here was air conditioning. A lot of places here do not have air conditioning, but me, if it's above about 75 degrees, I need it to be able to sleep. So I'm very northern in that sense. Comes with the office, basically living room, decent bathroom, and bedroom. With pretty decent views, actually. I'm staying in a Airbnb in a condo building called Latitude. It's actually really nice. My only complaint, this hot water heater, for whatever reason, I don't know if the setting isn't right because I can't tell if it's a pass-through or if it's actually a tank. If that's a tank, that's a tiny tank. But if it's one of those pass-throughs, then it must just be a setting wrong because it was like good temperature for like 3 minutes and then that was it. So that was a bit of a bummer, but other than that, I really like the place. You can see it comes with a washer and dryer there. Let's head out. Well, definitely an affordable destination, and they say it's actually one of the safer cities in Mexico, and I believe that. I felt pretty safe so far. You don't totally know about that until you live somewhere and talk to locals, but even most of the locals in the expat group, they also say that it's pretty safe. You just gotta take basic precautions that you would in any city. It's very sunny in Queretaro, apparently pretty much always except when it rains during the rainy season, which is now, but I don't even think that that's very many days out of the week. So it's a very sunny place. The taxi driver said it's always it's always sunny and the sol quema piel. That means it burns the skin. And I definitely feel like the UV is intense here. My eyes have been itchy a lot of the days here, so that's one thing to keep in mind for digital nomads and expats. If you're thinking about living here, I don't know if this is all year. I posted in the expat group in Facebook that my eyes were itchy and my nose a little bit runny. Some people said it's the dryness, the wind, the pollution. Definitely something that warrants investigation before putting down your roots here. So keep that in mind. This is the basically condo establishment that I am in. It's got a place for kids to play. You can see the pool there. I don't have any place to sit in the shade or anything, so I don't know. I guess if you just want to be in the pool in the direct sun, it's never really been my thing. I like to slip into the shade. The building that I'm in is called Latitude or Latitude, and it's kind of like a prison. They really check like going in and out, so I'm gonna have to go through this security gate. I think he's gonna have to come over and let me out. But the good thing is it's right across from a mall. It's a really nice mall. It's got pretty much everything you could want that you'd see in pretty much any country. The nice man coming to let me out. So the mall over here is really nice. You can see it. It's very well designed. I'm just gonna walk through the mall. I'm basically, I think what you would say is south of the city center where I'm staying in a nice area. But I'm gonna walk through the mall and then walk along a street to what I saw was the nicest park. And it's called Alameda, which originally comes from the fact that I guess there were alamo trees there, but it's a very shady park. Only open until 6 o'clock, unfortunately. You gotta go there during the sunny part of the day. Now, this guy is gonna make me put my mask on. Now I'm gonna take it off. This is what a lot of people do. We were on the tour yesterday and they made us put our masks on to get on the trolley. The minute we got on the trolley, all the Mexican people took their mask off, so we're like, okay. That's a formality? You would definitely feel like you're in any modern city here in this mall in Queretaro. I'll tell you a little bit about Queretaro. It's a city in central Mexico in what's called the Northern Colonial Highlands. It's about 4.5 hours, I think, by bus or by car from Mexico City. So it's very much in the center. It's got a very pleasant climate. If you like sun, it's sunny most of the year. I actually don't like sun that much. Having lived in Los Angeles for so long, I don't care about seeing the sun anymore. I like clouds and rain, but if you like sun, it's pretty much always sunny here, and it's pretty much always about 80 degrees as a high during the day, maybe a little lower in the wintertime. And then high 50s, something like that at night. So basically your eternal spring climate, sunny climate. It has a lot of historical value. This is a place where the emperor from Austria was killed. He was kind of trying to be the emperor of Mexico. That's a whole nother story. But it definitely has some historical significance, some historical sites. It's a modern city. It's known for its affordability. In digital nomad circles, it's known as being one of the places that's not overly crowded, but has a good quality of life and is affordable. So that's Queretaro, Mexico. Let's go take a look around some more. If you see this video, it means that I did not get my phone stolen, because this is not live. Because I'm walking just down a main street, not in any protected area. Something I don't know if I will do in Colombia, which is where I'm going soon. I got about a 5-minute walk from this mall, which is called Plaza Puerta La Victoria. Not super fancy. I'm in the center pretty much, but I'm not in the historical center as of yet. But that's where I'm gonna take you. One of the reasons you heard me being a little nervous about having my camera on the open street like this is because I watch a YouTube channel about traveling throughout Mexico. It's called Tangerine Travels. Well, now the couple broke up, and the girl is named Maddie, and she has her own channel, and it's called Maddie Gold. So I watch both of them now, and she just got her phone stolen in a city right near here by, I think she just had it out, either talking or filming, kind of on the open street. And I know, like, for example, in Brazil, if you go to Brazil, they say don't even show your cell phone outside on the street. So that's why I'm a little bit nervous. But I don't really necessarily have a reason to believe that there is that danger in Querétaro. I'm just cautious in Mexico in general. This is the beautiful Parque Alameda, and it's closed. Guess what? Like many places in Mexico and kind of almost anywhere these days, you never know what's going to be closed when. So this is a public city park, but no walking on Wednesdays. Apparently it's closed on Wednesdays. Who would think that? Who would know? You would have no way of knowing by looking at any of the gates. There's no signs. You got to kind of dig online, which is what I basically just did when I came here and found it closed. So definitely not tourist friendly in terms of that design aspect. Maybe they keep it so nice that they need a whole day every week to clean it up. Well, it's the middle of the workday and nobody's in there cleaning it up. So that was a major abort. Next is to go to the city center, which I've already been to, and it is really lovely. Lots of old colonial buildings, and I've been told by my friends that it has quite a large city center of colonial buildings, bigger than other cities like Aguascalientes or Guadalajara, which I'm going to go to. So I'm going to give you a tour of some of that. But just a little bit more of my first impressions here of Querétaro. Nice, friendly people, pretty pleasant climate, a little sunny if you don't love sun in your face all the time. Maybe not for you, but most people I think like about 80 degrees. There's a weird sewer smell that I've smelled the whole time I'm here, and I've been here a couple days. I think it's coming from the river and coming up from the ground. I don't smell it at this moment, but me and my friend have both smelt it several times. Maybe I'm getting used to it now, I don't know. But that I would say would be one negative, a weird sewer smell around the center. That's not fun. Everything else has pretty much been positive so far. The tourist sites that we went to were really beautiful, including the Franciscan Monastery, which is now the Regional Museum of Querétaro. Despite the aborted mission, I still decided to come to one of the entrances to the park just to show you how pretty it is. And you can also see looks like they have the bike share thing going on that I've seen in many cities. I last used it in Playa del Carmen and I really, really liked it. You basically pay a membership fee, maybe for a month, maybe $30, something like that. I think in Playa del Carmen it was actually $30 for the year. You just get to ride it from station to station, pretty much unlimited, unless you spend more than a half hour without parking it at a station. So it's really cool way to get around. I haven't tried it here though, but looks like it's an option. I think here it's called Querétaro Bici. You can see all the murals here. Look at that. Mural, monument. Uber here is not that great. It's not what you're used to in other cities. I've had some decent experiences with it, but generally within the city center, you're always going to wait like at least 10 to 15 minutes. You might wait a few minutes on top of that, maybe even 10 to even find a driver. So it's not something that you just kind of boom around town with like you would maybe in the US or some other cities, destinations. But it's, I guess, something that you could order while you're still at a restaurant and you have time You're sitting there and then you wait till they show up. Was not able to get an Uber from the airport. That was kind of disappointing. Taxi ended up being 20 bucks, which is it's not super cheap for Mexico. There's another app here that all the expats in the Facebook expat group and my friend who just tried it says it's better, and it's called DIDI, D-I-D-I. So supposedly that's the better version, and actually supposedly it pays the drivers more, so they use it more than Uber, and I guess they cancel a lot on Uber. That's definitely something to keep in mind for people coming here. Like, you might want to download and get that DIDI app going before you even get here. I just had one of the weirdest Subway sandwiches I've ever had in my life. There was no pepper, no tomato, only manchego and American cheese. I don't know what's going on, but let's forget about that. I got dropped off by an Uber that actually worked well at the Cathedral. Now, it's hard to tell which one's the Cathedral because there's so many beautiful churches here. So let's take a look. Look at how beautiful that is. There's nobody here, it's just me. It's pretty much like this all day. I mean, there's hardly any tourists. These buildings. Beautiful colonial city. So this is the Temple of San Felipe Neri, which is also the Cathedral of Queretaro. So late 18th century. Consecrated in 1805. So built mostly in the 1700s, consecrated in 1805 when this was part of Spain. Remember, in Mexico, independence was, I believe, in 1821. So this is Spain at the time. It says Queretaro was founded as a town of Indians without a cathedral. As the city grew, the ecclesiastical administration used existing temples. At the beginning of the 20th century, San Felipe was given up by its religious order in 1921. It was designated as a cathedral. So all these old colonial buildings, probably homes, gorgeous, gorgeous homes from the 1700s, maybe even 1600s, and now they've all been remade into nice, really cute little restaurants and cafes and things like that. Right now it's probably almost 8 o'clock, so it's almost dark on a summer night. And yeah, a lot of places close up. This square that I'm going to right now is done in the French style. You can tell because of the mushroom-shaped trees. And the amount of people that you see here right now it's not much more even during the day. So if you want kind of an pretty much undiscovered, off-the-map colonial city in Mexico, this could be an interesting pick for you. I'm in Jardin Guerrero, Palacio Municipal. During the Viceroyalty, this building was known as Casa de Diligencias on the Camino Real de Tierra Adentro, the Silver Route, which passed through the current street Madero. During most of the 19th century, it functioned as an inn and restaurant. There's about 4 or 5 squares that are this beautiful here in Querétaro. Okay, I gotta talk about the doors for a second. I'm obsessed with the doors. I love these doors. Just give me a door like this. I'll be very happy. Look at that. Querétaro is kind of famous for its shady plazas. That's what the Lonely Planet 2021 Mexico guide says, and I would agree. It has a lot of beautiful shady plazas, and almost all of them have beautiful churches and temples. Not sure which one that is. ¿Ustedes son de Querétaro?
De Guatemala.
¿De Guatemala? ¿Qué están haciendo aquí? ¿Trabajando?
Ajá.
Ok, ¿en qué tipo de trabajo?
Vendemos muchas
¿Vendiendo algo? ¿Qué es esta?
cookies.
Cookies. ¿Cuánto cuestan?
15.
¿15 pesos?
Ajá.
Ok. Él quiere comprar también.
También cuánto más.
Ganaste un cliente. Let's go to another plaza. You'll have to let me know your comments if you like kind of taking a walk with me around the city. I know it's a little bit shaky. I'm not even using a selfie stick. I want to feel like I'm literally there with the person walking through the city, kind of unedited and raw. This car is gonna hit me. First time I've seen police here. I don't know what that guy did wrong. Like I said, in general, the vibe, it's a very beautiful colonial city. Very affordable. Not a ton of tourists, not a ton of stuff in English, which I like. We have not yet found a delicious restaurant. We went to the top-rated one in the Lonely Planet guide. It's called Tikua. We went there last night and it was great service, beautiful ambiance, beautiful food presentation, but the most important thing, the taste was good, but not great. Really like the local vibe. It does not feel overwhelmed by tourists. I can't say that enough. I really love places that feel overwhelmed by tourists. Maybe it will be at some point. This park is called Parque Zenea. This is about as touristic as it gets, which is not bad. The Franciscan church. Next to it is the regional museum, which is really, really worth it because you get to go inside the old monastery. And right behind me here is what's called an Andador, which basically means a pedestrian-only walkway. Usually pretty. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna andar on the Andador. ¿De dónde eres? Oh, de aquí. Okay. ¿En Oakland? ¿Estás visitando tu familia o qué? Okay, yo soy de California también. De Los Ángeles. Sí. Soy americano, visitando de Los Ángeles. This is a really cool sculpture. Wow. Look at that. That's the Franciscan church. Want to go to another plaza. It's called the Templo de Santa Rosa de Viterbo. I am on the pedestrian street that would be the most touristed street in Queretaro. This is maximum capacity here. I mean, maybe a little bit more on Saturday, but I just love that. I love going to magical places that I don't even care that they're undiscovered because I'm not such a diva that I have to be the first to go somewhere, but you just can't enjoy the magic when there's so many throngs around you. I can't. Like, the first time I went to Venice, Italy, I'd always wanted to go to Venice, Italy, and of course it's gorgeous. Venice, Italy is gorgeous, but I could not enjoy it. I felt like I was on a cruise ship, and I've worked on cruise ships. Don't need that. I'm obsessed with the doors. Someone give me a door like this. I won't close it in your face. I might. Okay, so this is the Plaza de la Independencia, which means like Square of Independence. And I don't 100% know what this big, beautiful house is, but I just love it. There's 2 guards on the inside, so there must be something going on in there. Love it. I don't know why on that building it says Plaza de la Independencia, because this is called Plaza de las Armas. And it is gorgeous. I'm really falling in love with the city. I have a feeling I'd like it better here even in the winter because I'm such a polar person. Because I guess in the winter it's basically like highs in the 70s and cooler at night, jacket weather. I love that. But right now it's summer. It's almost 8 o'clock and it's got to be in the 60s, so that's really pretty blissful. If you're wondering where all this wealth came from, it was silver, I believe. This was a silver town, this whole area. Basically, they turned the Indians into slaves and made a ton of money. Oh my gosh, look at that little street. It's another little pedestrian street. I basically took a flight from Dallas. So they have a direct flight from Dallas to Querétaro. You don't have to go through Mexico City. It was a couple $100, I think. Actually, no, I think it was only a couple $100 all the way from Detroit to Dallas, then Dallas to Querétaro. So not a bad gig. It's about 2 hours. About 2 hours and 15 minutes from Dallas. Nice restaurant. Okay, let's take a vote. Which shots do you like better? Walking with a view of me where I'm blabbering, or what you're about to see? Another square, this one a little bit less shady, but gorgeous at night. The sun is just starting to set, and I'm at Plaza Constitucion. You're not in the video. The guy just gave me a dirty look. He thinks I'm in a video. He was in the video, but he's not. Look at this. It is a conservative place. It's got a bit of an authoritarian streak. I've had to wear masks more than I've had to wear it anywhere else, so if that really bothers you, it's something to keep in mind. If you love that people have to wear masks in malls and a lot of different places, then it's the perfect place for you right now. especially this city. There's actually, you don't have to wear your mask hardly anywhere in Playa del Carmen anymore, but here in Querétaro, you do. I just love this little window. ¿Es una panadería?
Panadería.
Wow, una ventana. Franciscan Monastery, which is inside the Querétaro Regional Museum now. There's lots of exhibits of pre-Hispanic peoples. Second story. One of the things that I really like about this city is the wealth of colonial architecture. You know, if you go to Cancun or Playa del Carmen, Tulum, there's nothing colonial there. You got to go more inland because there was pretty much fishing villages and, well, in between the Mayan ruins, the Mayan epic, and the modern day. Colonial wasn't much there, but here in the center of Mexico, you get colonial grandeur, even in out-of-the-way cities like Querétaro. Costs $4, by the way, to get into this museum. This is the Regional Museum of Querétaro, not to be confused with the City Museum or the Calendar Museum. So there's a lot of museums here. So $4 to get in. Unfortunately, almost nothing is in English. Even the QR digital version, which says it's in English, actually isn't in English. So Spanish not being quite good enough to fully appreciate this museum. I'd like to probably find an English tour somehow next time I come, even though they say there isn't one, or at least a Spanish tour. There were not even any tours of any kind today, but even a Spanish tour would be cool, and then I would get most of it, and my friend could explain to me the rest. This is a big museum with a lot to see. It looks like it's really beautiful and really well done. I'd really like to have a deeper understanding of it. All right, darkness has set in, but I have arrived at the Templo de Santa Rosa de Viterbo. It looks gorgeous. This should probably be the cathedral, if you were talking about size. And it is in the Plaza de Mariano something. I'll look that up later. Apparently, the Templo Santa Rosa de Viterbo is not the same as Santa Rosa de Viterbo, which is like a neighborhood. So this concludes my first visit to Querétaro, Mexico. Would I come back based on my first impressions of only having been here a few days? Definitely, I would definitely come back. I would probably come back in the winter, or if I came back in the summer, I would just avoid those few hours of 80-some degrees during the middle of the day. Maybe I'd go to one of the museums or try to find a colonial-style Airbnb or hotel to chill in and read a book. But very friendly people. The city feels very safe, especially relative to other cities in Mexico. It feels very well maintained, and I mean, what city can you go to that has 4 or 5 beautiful plazas all within walking distance of each other? I would definitely come back. I think it's a really interesting spot, an undiscovered spot. Would I consider it as a place to live as a digital nomad and expat? I would probably say yes, especially if you want sunny weather year-round. I don't yet know, I haven't personally went and taken a look at rental prices, but apparently $300, $400 a month you can get a decent apartment, maybe even in the central area. So that's something to take a look at if you want to be an expat or a digital nomad here. If you're a tourist just coming here for 3 days, you're going to have a great time. Nice places to eat, great places to walk. Check out some of the Mexican history here and enjoy your time in Querétaro, Mexico. I'll see you next time. This is the Picky Nomad channel. Please click subscribe and also click the bell so that you get a notification when there's new videos. And we'll see you next time.